Yes, no? There we go. Great.
Oh, he's got his own.
I've got my own things. Sorry.
Custom
Does
clicker.
that cost points? Hi, I'm Carson Sweet, co-founder and CEO of CloudPassage. We focus on security for cloud servers. So if you're a brand new startup and you want to take your application, start it out in the cloud before you go into something different, or you want to leave it there, or if you're a farm company or a biotech company that wants to use the cloud for large-scale compute power, or if you're a company who has one of 50 other interesting use cases for infrastructure as a service, and you need security, that's where we come into play, right? So encryption and authentication and application standardization, all those things are necessary and they're good, but if you don't put security in the fundamental structure of the server itself, all that stuff helps very, very little. So I've been in security about 20 years, and what you're looking at is what we have gotten away with for a very long time, and it's worked okay for the most part. The idea here is that you build perimeters, you build a wall, you build a moat around your network environment, your data center, and you put all of your servers behind that, and that's worked really well for a long time. Because of this, we've left these servers in a pretty poor state of configuration. People haven't focused on the security of the servers that much. Now, whether you either take a default configuration from a cloud provider, which is basically the default configuration of whoever makes that operating system, or you move a system out into the cloud, you're going to move all those vulnerabilities out into the same space where the bad guys are, right? Now you've lost all the ability for these IDS, IPS, and firewall devices to protect that server. It's outside of the wall now. It's outside of the perimeter. So it's very important for that server to be able to protect itself. The second problem that we run into, right, and we've had lots of customers talk to us about this, is once you've got the server out there, right, you've got your application on it, then you clone it, you burst it. What you're doing is actually creating copies of every single vulnerability that's on that server, right? So you're creating a giant attackable surface area if you don't harden those servers and get them into a space where they can actually protect themselves, right? That's a really big problem. Auditors know this. They look for this when they come in, they audit you for PCI. Attackers know this. The guys are financially motivated to find these cloud environments, break into these servers. If I sell botnets for a living, and I'm able to break into one of your Elastic Cloud servers, and I put a bot drone on it, and you burst, I've got more botnet to sell, right? So I'm out here seeking these weak servers to come and get. And that's really the problem in the cloud that we're trying to solve. So what do you really need to do to secure these cloud environments? These servers need to be hardened. The software, the bad software needs to be patched. You need to make sure that the OS configuration isn't bad. It's a whole list of things that need to happen. The problem is when you go to do this, especially in a cloud environment where things move very fast, you create more servers instantly, things move around a lot, you move from cloud provider to cloud provider, in and out of your data center. It becomes very problematic to do this at scale. It becomes very operationally intensive to handle. So what we've done is created a platform that takes care of all of the needs that you see here at the virtual machine level. So our theory, which is being proven true, which we're very happy about, is that the unit of control is always the virtual machine. Whether it's in the data center, whether it's out in the public cloud, it's always the VM. The unit of portability is the VM. So if we're able to put the controls on the VM in a way that doesn't crush the performance of the server, in a way that's portable, in a way that's elastic, that's the optimal security model for the cloud. And that's what we've done. So this is the way it works. This is an example of how one of our customers, Foursquare, has implemented CloudPassage. So here we see a cloud server that you've spun up. You don't know what the situation is. You'll see the Halo grid. This is one of the things that we provide as the software as a service that is CloudPassage Halo. So this is a SaaS, so it's very straightforward and simple to deploy. The Halo grid, before I sort of drill in here, is an elastic compute grid that's been optimized specifically for security computing, right? This is how we keep the load off the VMs. You install a very small piece of software called the Halo daemon. It's about 2-3 megabytes on each VM, right? It goes out and it touches the Halo grid, and it says, I am with Acme Corporation. Here's my identity. Authenticate myself. What commands do you have for me? The grid takes your policies that you've configured through the portal. Maybe it's one of the templates that we've given you, and it sends information down to that device that says, okay, you need these firewall rules applied, and I need this, 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 and this piece of information to assess you. The Halo daemon collects that data, sends it down to the grid, and then the grid does all the work. It does all the heavy lifting of actually calculating the state of security of that machine, right? Again, this keeps the load off the machine very, very critical. The other thing that the Halo grid does is it keeps track of all the VMs. So once you've got a Halo daemon on a VM and you burst that VM out, the new daemons come up, call out to the grid, say, I am a child of this web server. I need all of those rules, all those policies, everything that I need to be secure, just like mom and dad over there, right? So what this means is once you've deployed this, let's say in a web server farm, where you know you're going to burst out these web servers or these, the protein folding servers, whatever the case may be, from 10 to 100 to 1,000, you don't have to touch that additional 900 servers. The security just comes along for the ride. That's the elasticity. That's really critical in the cloud, where you've got many more individual servers to be managed than you may in a data center. I saw the standing up. That's a sign, okay. So this is basically how the system works, and there's not enough time to drill into loads and loads of detail. But the key things that customers get, obviously you want less risk of being compromised, you want better compliance, you want to be able to go to bed at night and know that these cloud servers, these jobs that are moving out in the cloud are reasonably secure, okay? All these things are necessary to unlock the ability for a company to use infrastructure as a service, which is what they want to do. These are some of our Lighthouse customers. We can talk to you guys offline about some of the use cases here that they've permitted us to talk about. Very interesting stuff. The way we take this to market, we do have a premium model and a freemium version, right? The free version gets the job done to operate at high scale, API access, permanent data storage, things like that. We move you over to the professional version. What we're looking for, the reason we're out here today, is we're looking for more Lighthouse customers, right? We love to get this feedback from customers. We're looking for good talent. We just finished a Series A raise. We're going to be growing at a pretty good clip. And of course, we're always looking for ecosystem partners, right? So companies like Puppet Labs and things like that that we already have partnerships with, we know that the cloud is an ecosystem. So, all right.
I like the